And we're live. I don't know what happened, but we're live.
I don't know. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests. Is going on, my Ghost Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. This is episode number 287. We are live as always over on YouTube. If you're out there in the live chat, go ahead and say something. We don't know that you're out there unless you do. If you want to text in, utilize the Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by our good friends Rod and Shelly Gates at Aegis Gun Care. That phone number is 530-364-4678. And go check out aegisguncare.com. If you're a veteran, really anybody, but especially if you're a veteran and you're out there, you're in a hole, you're in the darkness, and you're looking for that light, call me, text me, email me 24/7. I cannot give you medical advice, but I could be a pretty decent ear and at least talk you through some stuff. And if nothing else, be a good listener. If you are looking for someone to get you towards some medical attention, remember two things. Number one, you are not alone in this fight. You have a lot of brothers out here that are willing and able to help you in any way possible. And two, the world is a much better place with you in it. So please utilize the Veteran Crisis Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Once again, 1-800-273-8255, the Veteran Crisis Hotline. We are spotlighting, as always, the United States Marine Corps. If you have any questions on what it takes to earn the title of United States Marine, see the website marines.com. And we are proud members of, well, let's see if I can put this over here. Sometimes it covers up some people, but we're going to try it here. Does it cover up anything? Should be okay at this point. There we go. We are proud members of the Self-Defense Radio Network and the Rapid Fire Radio Network. Go check out all of your favorite Pro Gun Pro 2A podcasts over at selfdefenseradio.net and rapidfireradio.us. We are going to bring in the hapless crew here. Clover is here in a couple different manners. I love Chase's avatar. It's perfect. But let's say hello to everybody from Anderson Manufacturing. I have our good buddy Kyle over there. What's up, Kyle? How was your weekend?
Oh, it was great, Ghost. How was yours? I think we ran into each
other. It was good. Maybe once or twice or 10. Yeah. No, it was a great weekend. I enjoyed the shows. It was a really good, it was probably my favorite NRAAM so far. We'll get into that here in a little bit, but yeah, I enjoyed it. From the only state that has 4 letters, it takes 2 people to spell it out. The weird state of Ohio. We got Chris from the 740. What's up, homie?
Thanks for the invite. I was looking forward to this one. We're going to have fun.
We'll have fun. How was your weekend? Do you have a good one?
I did. Yeah. I had a great, that was a great show. And yeah, a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, there is for sure. From Arizona, the soulless ginger bastard himself. What's up, John?
What's up, everybody?
Sounds like you might be driving home from work. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, driving home from work. Had to deal with the great people in Arizona driving on the 101. So it's always fun.
How hot is it there today?
The car says it's 89 degrees today. So it's getting up there. It was 100.
Yeah.
It was only 102 last week, so it's not too bad.
Wow. Yeah, and your dark complexion probably loves that stuff, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I get darker and darker as I go. I think I just gain more freckles. That's really about it.
Yeah, well, I understand that. I don't tan. I burn and peel and start over, so that's what it is. From EAA, just the tip himself. What's up, Chase? Nice avatar, by the way.
What's up?
What's up?
Going back to when Bud Light was cool.
Yeah, Bud Light was cool. At one point, it was very cool. You know what I missed most? I missed the Bud Bowls. You guys remember the Bud Bowls?
Yep.
I don't know what the
It's
hell
just
happened.
training fluid.
All right. It is indeed. I saw some great things this weekend that had to do with Bud Light up in Indianapolis. It was hilarious. It was nice.
There's some very good things in there. It's hilarious.
Yes. Not for public consumption. Needless to say, we all enjoyed some of them. So, yeah. How was your weekend? Good weekend?
I mean, it feels like I just saw everybody here like literally a couple days ago or something.
Oh, wait, you did.
Oh, that's right.
They
No,
got
man,
Stan
it was a
from
good
SS Pawn out there. What's up, Stan? How you doing? Yeah, it was a good time. We had a good time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good time seeing everybody, and it was for us it was a really busy show. So
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yes, it was. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that here in a second, for sure. But from the great state of Texas, Riding Shotgun is always with us. The tactical virus, Leprechaun himself, who is admittedly just here for the free publicity. What's up, Clove?
I'm a lucky man, apparently.
Apparently, you had a couple wardrobes this weekend that were brought to you by your, I don't know if you call us your friends or not, but some of your friends hooked you up.
Yeah, thanks, Snob, if he's out there. It's become a thing, I guess, for Snob to bring me goodies at shows. So,
you're easy to make fun of and pick on, so it's pretty simple. So,
I've said it before. I'll say it again. If picking on me brings everybody together, then mission accomplished. I'm okay with it.
There you go. Chicago Mike says, "Ghost, nice meeting you in person, brother. Nice meeting you as well." So yeah, I got to see several people for the first time in Indy, so that was fun. Shotgun of the week, bro. You got one?
Well, you know I do.
I know you do.
How about the CZ712 G3?
I don't know what the hell that means, but it sounds pretty hipsterish to me.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's a CZ semi-auto wood furniture. Difference between the G3 and the previous models is it's 5/1000ths larger on the bore, which is interesting.
5/1000ths.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got a 5,000.
Is that a big deal? Is that a big deal?
Bore. Good question. I haven't played with one, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, how is it your shotgun of the week if you've never played with it?
Because it's an interesting concept. I'm kind of like you. Like, why would you increase it by 5,000ths? I don't know.
Yeah, okay. No, I was just wondering.
Is there
to
science?
me, I hear 5/1000ths, and that's not something I would even mention. But I don't know shit about shotguns, so
Right.
So, all right. Let's move along because this is obviously going nowhere.
Nope.
Go check out that CZ, whatever the hell hipster thing he just said. So go check that out. You guys know that every Thursday, Saturday, and Monday we have our Ghost Tactical polls, the pony polls, if you will. The pony polls. By the way, Kyle, I know that you talked to the Andersons about a couple things. Has the Pony Express come up yet?
I want to make sure my pitch deck is strong for that one.
He's afraid to lose his job on the Pony Express.
Like they're huge shotgun fans. I think they're going to be down, but you got to make sure it's right. You got to make sure it sticks.
I'm just saying, I'm sure John will agree with this, is if they do that and you get a bonus, I think that bonus should be shared in part with John.
Most definitely.
You saw it here first. But seriously, that was like one of the greatest things, the Pony Express. That would be a great coach shotgun, coach gun. Just be amazing for that. That'd be awesome. So, yeah. 223 says, are you still happy with your Bergara? Absolutely. I love Sophia. Yeah, that's my baby. I haven't shot her as much as I want to. But yeah, Sophia's my baby. Sophia Bergara. But yeah. Let's go with the first poll. Pretty simple. 1.8 thousand votes. Favorite movie candy of these: Reese's Pieces, Skittles, Twizzlers, or Whoppers? Clover, let's start with you. Of those, do you have a favorite movie candy?
Reese's Pieces,
Skittles, Twizzlers, or Whoppers?
So probably Reese's Pieces, but I will caveat this by saying Reese's Pieces in my popcorn.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Have you ever had M&Ms in your popcorn? It's pretty amazing.
It's similar. It's pretty close to the same thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Or chocolate covered almonds in your popcorn, also good.
I don't do my wife loves dark chocolate almonds. I'm not a big almond guy. Yeah. John, Reese's Pieces, Skittles, Twizzlers, or Whoppers at a movie?
Well, first off, you're saying Reese's Pieces wrong because that's how it's properly said. And second off, it's Skittles. So,
I'm not a fucking weirdo like you and Chris are from Ohio. I'm just saying. I don't know how the hell y'all say in Ohio.
It's not Reese's Pieces. It's Reese's Pieces. And if
Reese's.
you don't, it's not Reese's. Everybody quit saying that and go do your homework. The owner of the company, the founder, his name was Reese's, not Reese's. It's
just
Reese's.
like you're going to say, you probably say it's Hoppy's number 9. It's Hops number 9, okay?
Okay, whatever. Well, you need to go do your homework because the dude himself says his name is Reese's. So
is it Canic or Janik or Jonic?
All the above.
Yannick.
Bullshit.
Well, that's all the above,
He
but
calls
if,
it Canic, so I'm calling it Canic.
I mean, we all say Canic, but in Turkey it's Yannick.
I don't want to hear that shit. We're in America, dude.
Well, we say their shit all wrong anyway, so what else is new?
This is true. And they say our shit wrong too, I'm sure. So
it's 100% they do.
Chase, Reese's Pieces, Skittles, Twizzlers, or Whoppers. None of that weird shit John just said.
I mean, I've been a Whoppers fan since I was a kid, but I've also been a Reese's fan since I was a kid, and in a movie theater, Reese's all day.
Good call. Good call. Chris, what about you?
I gotta go with the Reese's Pieces. That's definitely my favorite out of those four.
I see a trend here. No, I mean, you can't go wrong. Kyle's gonna come up and say some like cauliflower shit. They all nice and
Here we go.
I'm waiting on Raisinets to pop up. That's what I'm waiting on.
Raisinets has been managed, yeah.
Clover just made a great point. You're missing two: cookie dough bites and Raisinets.
Cookie dough bites are solid.
Cookie dough bites here in Arkansas, not a thing.
What?
Raisinets, you have been banned from this channel. Just stop.
Oh.
The only thing,
get out.
Get out. The only thing raisin that should be consumed is wine. I'm just saying. You ever heard raisin wine? Raisin wine's actually not terrible, but that's the only thing raisins I don't even think about consuming is raisins. I'm sure as hell not going to want to watch John Wick popping fucking raisins, man.
You don't like Raisin Bran?
No.
Okay, post or catalog.
If I was going to do Raisin Bran, I'd be picking the raisins out of it. Like basically, it's Wheaties at that point, you know.
Yeah,
who eats that communist raisin crap?
This guy.
Well, I rest my
You're
case.
dead to me, dude. You are dead to me.
I'll eat Raisin Bran if it's Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
Thank you.
I don't care for Post.
Is Post still called Raisin Bran, or is it a different name? They can't call it the same name, can they?
I think it is. I think Raisin Bran. I think is a generic. I don't think anybody like copyrighted that or anything.
No, I don't know.
I can be wrong, but I don't think they did.
I digress.
Yes, raisin wine. It's a thing. It's not good. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it might be the best thing that's come from a raisin. Is what I'm saying to you. Okay. 1.8 thousand votes. 45% agree it is Reese's Pieces. 21% say it's Skittles. 18% say Whoppers. 16% say Twizzlers. Now, if I would have put Red Vines on there, it's Red Vines all day. Just saying.
Nestle Crunch Bites.
Or the ultimate thing would be Kit Kat bites. Wouldn't that be amazing? Just saying. Kit Kat bites might be amazing. 223 DMR, you've been banned. He says watermelon wine and pear wine is his favorite. What the hell is wrong with you people? What the hell? I agree, Clover. Just saying. All right. Question number 2. 1.2 thousand votes. Which is better? The Red Lobster cheddar biscuits or Olive Garden breadsticks? I'm going to start with Kyle on this one.
Cheddar biscuits, hands down.
Really? Hands down? Really?
Oh,
okay.
Easily.
Interesting.
Fazoli's has better breadsticks. Fazoli's has better breadsticks.
I'm not saying that you're wrong either way. I'm just saying that hands down, like, damn, that's pretty decisive.
Yeah.
I will say this. Have you ever had like the stuff you can get, like the box cheddar biscuits you can make at home? They're pretty
those. I made those like 2 days before we left for Indy, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, those are damn good. Those might be the best like box biscuits in the world, honestly.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Chris, what about you? Cheddar biscuits from Red Lobster or Olive Garden's breadsticks?
I'm with Kyle. Cheddar biscuits. No comparison.
Really? Like, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm shocked that like it's like definitive, because I don't know. Olive Garden breadsticks are pretty damn good. You know, matter of fact, we had some the other night, didn't we?
Yep.
So here's the thing. So I was watching, and Chase knows what I'm talking about. I don't know if you guys watch cooking channels or cooking shows or not. Me and Chase are pretty into some cooking shows. And I think it was Next Level Chef, or it might have been Tournament of Champions. I'm not really sure. But someone had mentioned that when they were starting out, they worked as like a waitress at Olive Garden. And they said that as far as the breadsticks go, however many people are at the table, they bring that many plus one. So there's 4 people at the table, they get 5 breadsticks. Now, like for me, that last breadstick might come down to fisticuffs. I'm just saying, like, I don't know how they determine who gets that last one. So we were at Olive Garden. What was that, Thursday night, I think, Clove, whenever it was, or I think it was Thursday night. We were at Olive Garden, and I was like, I asked her, first of all, maybe, like, I'm not going to say hands down because that's pretty definitive, like Kyle's using. I don't use those words very lightly. Like Kyle just throws them out there. You know, he just says hands down. For me, I would say she was probably a top 5 waitress I've ever had any restaurant anywhere in my life. She was phenomenal. Shout out to her at the Red Lobster in Indianapolis. Great waitress. But I asked her, I said, look, I'm going to ask you a weird question. I heard this. I don't know if it's true or not. I said, with the breadsticks, do you count the people on the table and add 1? She goes, that is a corporate policy. Now, she brought us like 10. Like she hooked us up. But that is a corporate policy. She wasn't sure what to think of you at first. But it is a corporate policy. That's what they're supposed to do, is however many people are at the table plus 1 breadstick. That's just weird to me. I'm just saying, like, how did they come up with that? Because I mean, I'm telling you, man, like that last breadstick, there might be some damage had for that last breadstick, especially if I'm hungry. But anyways, yeah, shout out to that waitress. She was phenomenal. Clove, Red Lobster biscuits or Olive Garden breadsticks?
Man, I would get my Southern Boy card taken away if I did not say biscuit, period. But yeah, hands down, I had the ones out of the box, a week ago. And yeah, there's no contest.
Biscuits. So let me ask you this.
Way more flavor. I mean, come on.
So since everyone is saying hands down, let's make it interesting. The Red Lobster box biscuits at home versus Olive Garden restaurant breadsticks.
Box at home.
I tend to agree. I'm telling you, guys out there, if you have better. Yeah, like if you guys haven't tried the Red Lobster cheddar biscuits that you can buy at the grocery store and cook, do yourself a favor. Phenomenal. Like really, really good. Ginger, Red Lobster. Hey, you don't have to go with what everybody says. You can have your own opinion.
Well, I have my own opinion on this, and it's the Red Lobster biscuits only because you can get them at home. You cannot get the Olive Garden breadsticks at home. There's not an at-home option.
Are you sure there are not some frozen options for that?
If there are, I haven't seen any. I never have seen any.
Seen any frozen options for that.
Now you can get breadsticks, but not the Olive Garden breadsticks. What I will say that is incredibly good, and I use it not exclusively, but pretty much all the time. I'm a big fan. So Olive Garden salad is what, and I even told the waitress this. Olive Garden salad. I didn't eat salads growing up. I can't stand salads, but the salads at Olive Garden is what got me into eating salads. And the Olive Garden creamy Italian dressing that they use in their salad, they sell at grocery stores, and it is crazy good. So if you like Italian dressing, they've got a really good Italian dressing in Olive Garden. I'll give them that. Big Daddy Chase D, just a tip. Red Lobster or Olive Garden? What bread do you like?
Well, before I jump into that real quick, I would just like to say I'm very proud of Clover for going to Olive Garden and choosing an entree without having to consult with me.
Oh, he did plenty of consulting. It just wasn't with you.
Yeah, exactly. I still had to have help. I'm sorry.
He didn't know what tortellini was, bro.
Dude, the chicken tortellini is what I got before. I told you to get it. Just roll it.
I always get, that's what I get. I get the chicken Alfredo tortellini, and it is to die for. And he was like, what's a tortellini? I'm like, how do you explain a tortellini? It's a fucking circle of pasta filled with cheese. I mean, I don't really know how, but I think he had one. I think you liked it, didn't you, Clove? You thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got at Talladega that he thought looked pretty good. So anyway, I digress.
You can't go wrong. Yeah. Oh, hey, you can talk tortellini all day you want, man. I'm good.
Oh, dude. I mean, handmade tortellini. Later on, remind me to tell you about the handmade pasta place we ate at. It was legit. But except for Ginger, he just sat there being a non-connoisseur weirdo.
When you sent a picture of him drinking wine, he looked a little awkward drinking wine too. I don't know if that's
he didn't want to drink wine when we made him.
First off, I don't drink wine, and second off, I ordered tortellini and they brought me out ravioli, so I just ate it and went on with my day.
Should have got the real carbonara like I did. That shit was legit.
I really should have, because
that looked
delicious.
It was so good. I wanted to lick the plate, but I was figuring that'd be bad for him.
It was good meeting him at NRAAM. I might have misspoken when I was talking about the Olive Garden salad drink. Did I say ranch or Italian? I thought I said creamy Italian, didn't I?
You said the Olive Garden like Italian.
Okay, someone says Olive Garden doesn't have ranch dressing. I don't. Maybe he's saying he doesn't eat anything but ranch. But their creamy Italian is pretty damn good for what it is.
Yeah.
Speaking of
controversial.
Yeah. What's that, Chris?
Speaking of Italian restaurants, that Opie that I ate at next door to our hotel was one of the best Italian restaurants I ever ate at. That was
dude,
good
OP's
stuff.
legit. OP is real good.
Did y'all go back there in 2019 or something, Chase, or did you go there this year or what?
I went last year when I was in there for, I think it was Sports Inc. show.
Oh, that's right. You were there last year. That's right.
Yeah. But I'm gonna be controversial, and I'm gonna say hands down Cheddar Bay Biscuits, boys.
I mean, that's going out on a limb, man. I don't know how I feel about that. 67% agree with all of us. What I want to know is what the other 33% were thinking. I don't mind the Olive Garden bread. It's fine. It's just fine. But if you're gonna choose, then there is no there. What's that?
I say get the hot Alfredo sauce to dip it in.
Oh,
that's where it's at. That's how you.
It was so funny. What was so funny is when our waitress came with the salad and with our entrees. They always says, "Oh, would you like some Parmesan, some grated Parmesan on top of your food?" We're all like, "Hell yeah!" And so she starts spinning it and it's shredding, and she's like looking at us. We're just like, "Keep on coming." Like, you might want to go get a new block of Parmesan because we might be here a while. And she's like, look at that. She's like, hey, let's go. She just kept on going. And on Clover's, you couldn't see his entree. It was just a bed of cheese. It was hilarious.
Yeah, baby. Well, I know that with the cheddar biscuits, fix you up some loaded mashed potatoes and have Cheddar Bay biscuits and loaded mashed potatoes. You're welcome.
That does sound pretty damn good.
Yeah, it is.
It sounds pretty good. All right. Next question. I'm going to do this last one. This one I just threw out there as a funny one, and I got some hate. So I'm thinking they didn't understand what I was saying, but I threw it out there. This is before NRAAM, and obviously Donald Trump was the keynote speaker this weekend at NRAAM. I said, should Donald Trump show up for his speech at NRAAM in a county jail orange jumpsuit? I thought that was funny. I would have loved. Can you imagine if Trump showed up in a jumpsuit with shackles on, like talking about the most viral picture or video in the history of the internet? That would be amazing. But I got some hate. 61% said yes, 39% said no, but I got some hate a little bit. They're thinking, I'm like, dude, it's a joke. You gotta, just relax. I thought it was funny, but whatever. Maybe I have a weird sense of humor. This one interests me and only because of the results. Last one, 1.7 thousand votes. Do you run an optic on your handguns? Yes or no? Ginger, we'll start with you. In general, do you run optics on your handguns?
It's like 50-50. Like some
Jesus,
of them have.
make up your just pick one.
Yes, then. God.
Okay, there you go.
I run my carry gun. I run irons, and everything else I run optics on. So I just haven't switched my carry gun over to optics yet.
Yeah.
Really what it is.
Spectre out there says you should get Trump on a panel. That ain't gonna happen.
It'll be huge.
Be huge. It would be huge.
You buy enough playing cards, you might.
This is true. I don't have that kind of a flow though to buy enough of those. Kyle, optics on handguns, yay or nay?
Nay.
In general, in general, what's up?
No, I'm an irons guy.
Okay.
Yep.
Chase.
I mean, I have both, but on my
In
actual
general.
carry gun, no.
Okay. All right.
That's because I haven't put one on it yet. To be totally honest.
I hear you. So you soon will, but you haven't yet.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in the dot, so.
Just the tip of the dot?
Just the tip, man. Got just the tip. All you need.
Can we just say that Ghost made the dude from Anderson say nay? I'm just pointing it out there. Sorry, I had to.
Oh, snap. I didn't realize that.
Oh, let it go.
Snap. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well played, sir. Well played.
You got it, Ghost.
I didn't mean to do it, but it worked out great. Clove, optics on your handguns.
That's a negative.
It's a negative. Ghost Rider pattern is full. And Christopher.
Optics on pretty much everything I got.
I knew that was coming. The reason why it surprised me is the poll, 1.7 thousand votes, 72% say no, 28% say yes. And the reason why that surprised me is maybe not that the yeses or nos, but it was 72 to 28. Because if you ask the quote unquote general public what they want, everyone bitches about not having optic cut slides anymore. Well, if 72% of you freakers aren't going to even run an optic, why the hell do you care if it's optic cut,
Well, having the option later on, right?
I get it. I'm just joking around, but I was surprised that 72% say they didn't. I thought it would be actually like 50-50, honestly.
Does that mean that most of your audience is either FUDs or boomers?
It's
one would think that neither one of those are my key demographic on this channel. Now, Clover's channel, yes. I would have guessed that the vast majority of people, I am. I'm learning something about my viewership also. Maybe I got more FUDs than I thought. I don't know. Maybe I to start taking that into consideration. I don't know. Spectre out there says, by the way, your outfits were on point, NRAAM. We had several of us had a really good time putting our outfits together. Clover and I especially, we had the shoes each day. We went very bright the first day. I think a lot of it came down to, and it was fun. It's fun. But when you go to these shows enough, whether it's SHOT or NRAAM and all that, you see the same, 511 pants with either the black or the OD green t-shirt, the black cat, and the boots. Like, that's everyone, right? So if everyone's going to go that tactical gray man, no offense, Chris, because Chris wears nothing but black. But you're also a big son of a bitch, so I'm not going to make fun of you. So
Chris is like a gun-wielding, scooter-riding Johnny Cash meets Tony Hawk.
He is. He is the modern-day Johnny Cash, the man in black himself. But yeah, so if everyone's going to be looking the same, like, why not? Like, my whole goal for Friday's outfit was I want nothing matching. I want nothing to coordinated. Like, I went with white cami pants, a freaking lime green and blue fluorescent shirt, a $4 hat from the 70s that I found at Walmart, and some just so shoes that were the ugliest things ever, which are amazingly beautiful in my eyes. We all, and Clover had some great outfits. He broke out the Shane Falco jersey on Sunday, and many people don't know who Shane Falco is. Go look that shit up.
Yeah, I was surprised at the people that I didn't get nearly as many people recognizing that as I thought I would.
Yep.
Standing next to the John Wick car in the Falco jersey was perfect.
I had to laugh. It took me a minute to figure it out, but when you did the video with Chase and I saw this guy in the background, I'm like, what's that guy doing?
Why is Shane Falco in the background? Yeah.
Great.
Here's the funny thing. I don't know if Chase saw him. I didn't know he was back there until after the video. Clover was laughing. He said, "Do you not see me back there?" I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." I had no idea he was back there. I don't know if Chase, if you saw him back there or not. I didn't know he was back there.
I caught the corner of him. Like, I caught him out of the corner of my eye. I caught him like sneaking in, and I'm like, "What's he about to do?" Like, I knew he's about to pull some shit.
Yeah. Yes, Calaveras, Falco from the Replacements, very good. Yes. But there were a lot of people that didn't understand what school is that, or who is Falco, or we actually had literally, I'm not going to give her name out. That might have given it away. We were getting ready. I was getting ready to leave Sunday. And so Clover and I were over at a booth saying bye to a friend of ours, and she literally thought it was for Falco holsters.
Right.
Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what?
Right.
Like, Clover's wearing a Falco holsters jersey had made up? No,
Was Falco even there?
I don't think so. If they were, I didn't see them. But
I'm about to say, what's her name? You wouldn't, from the chick from Slovakia, you would know if she was there because you'd hear her from across the show.
Oh yeah. 72%. That's alarming. That's alarming. No, we had fun. Clover found himself on his way to the trip, found his Friday.
I did. Lucked out.
You got a Bucky's Boogaloo shirt. It was quite fantastic.
Matched my shoes for that day perfectly.
I mean, nothing matches your shoes, but like, they're not supposed to.
Well,
right?
It matched closer than what I was gonna do for sure. You know what I mean? But that's what was fun. Is like, I can guarantee you, Friday and Sunday, there was nobody else in that venue wearing the same shirt as me. I can promise you. You know.
To be fair.
I mean,
some of us had to dress like professionals.
No, you don't.
Just
what the hell are you talking about?
You look like the Great Pumpkin Saturday, dude. Come on.
Yeah, you wore professional.
I mean, I would say it was professional looking.
Now, in comparison to what we were wearing,
does that matter anymore?
I mean,
does it matter?
Not really, no. I mean, John did attempt to look professional, and then we showed up in our shooting shirts that you can see from a fucking mile away.
True. All right, so we're gonna start NRAAM. NRAAM was a great time. I thought it was the best NRAAM that I've been to. We'll go through the room here in a second to give everybody's thoughts, but we're gonna start the questions off with this: taking the Bucky's Boogaloo out and the Shane Falco out. Best shirt you saw all weekend someone wearing. I know what mine was. There was a dude walking around in a shirt just said in plain letters, "I could shit a better president." The greatest shirt I saw. It was a great one. Kyle, what was the best shirt you saw or outfit that you saw this weekend?
I've seen a lot of them, but for some reason, like I can't remember any of them besides this one. So I'm going to use it. It was this dude. It said, I have PTSD. And it was like, pretty tired of stupid Democrats.
I like that. I like that. I didn't see that one, but that one's a good one.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty clever.
I did not see that one. Chris, do you remember anything that stands out? It's like, holy shit, that's awesome. You're muted, bud.
Not really when it came to a shirt that anything that I saw.
Or a hat or something. How about the hat the old guy was saying, re-elect that motherfucker? It was like a MAGA hat that says re-elect that motherfucker, and it's signed by Ted Nugent. I was like, yep, that wins.
Yeah,
like a hat or something that stood out, like anything that stood out that people were wearing.
A lot of some of the outfits that like you could tell like the super rich old guys were wearing, where they're all dressed up in like their cowboy. They got the big cowboy.
Well, did you see the guy in the full tuxedo with his cane?
No, I didn't see that one. That would have been a top hat. To see.
And a top hat. It was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Chase, I know you guys saw a bunch of people. Anything come through the booth besides like the fan club that were there? Like anything that the fan club's what Dawn called all of us, I guess. So besides what we were all wearing, anything crazy that came through the booth, you're like, oh, I gotta have that, or that's awesome.
I mean, there were several. I'm trying to remember the name. Like, I'm trying to remember some of the good ones, but probably the one that really comes to my mind was some guy had a T-shirt on, and it was like somebody needs to get the ATF to shoot John Wick's dog.
Oh my God! Can you imagine? Hey, you want to get rid of the ATF? That's exactly how you do it, because he'll kill every single one of them.
It was great. It was really good. I also enjoyed like what Chris was saying, all the old guys who are obviously wealthy dressed up with their, 26-year-old Asian accompaniment.
What
there was like
dude?
3 or 4 of those running around. It was like the
so like if I brought my wife, would you be saying, "Hey, that dude's got his 48-year-old Asian accompaniment with him"? What the fuck, dude?
No. You're not 70 with a 26-year-old obvious Asian caller.
If I could, I would. Damn it!
I'm not saying you wouldn't. I'm pretty sure we all would.
Did you see the guy that looked like Doc Holliday? He had like the old Western, had a duster on, had like the old Western 3-piece suit with like the hat he was wearing was more like of a Billy the Kid type hat, but he had the old style like handlebar mustache. I was like, damn, that guy went all out.
I don't know if John noticed him or not, but the night we went to Fogo, there was a whole group of like the SAS people in full SAS getup still over there eating.
Really?
Yes, I saw that.
Like it was like there was like 6 of them at a table, and it like Little House on the Prairie threw up over there.
Please tell me they were at like, they were at a nice restaurant though, huh?
Yeah, it was Fogo de Chao. Like, I mean, it was a steakhouse, but they're all like literally sassed
like,
up. Still
it'd only be better if they went to like Colton's, where like the peanuts are on the floor and all that. That'd have been perfect for those guys.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Not the Brazilian steakhouse. It's nice.
John, you see anything walking around? They were like, "Oh my God, that's awesome."
All right, so I've got 3. There was the top hat guy.
Top hat guy, sure.
A lot of Trump's face tank tops that I saw a few dozen of those. And then the man who looked like a turtle with antennas. And I don't know if anybody else saw him.
I never saw this guy. When you mentioned that in the group text, I didn't know what you were talking about. I never saw that thing.
I saw Turtle Man.
I never saw Turtle Man.
He was walking around with antenna on. and I'm trying to get somebody to send me a picture of it. So if you have a picture of him, please send it.
I
because
will
it
say
was
that the
greatest
1,000
thing.
Faces of Trump t-shirt was pretty epic. Pretty epic. Scary, but epic. If you see that dude walking towards you with 1,000, because there's like a black, the one I saw was like a black t-shirt and it had like Orange Man faces just like in different angles and all that. I was like, that's pretty terrifying. But you know,
there was a couple
that was creepy.
shirts like that. There was like one was t-shirt and one was like an actual like button up like a
oh, I didn't see that one. I didn't see
Yeah.
that.
Also, whatever
this
you
one was just a
two.
t-shirt. What?
Also, I forgot to add whatever you two and Snob and Obnoxious was wearing because that
was
stood
the
out
whole
from the crowd.
plan, dude. Like that was the whole plan, was to not give a shit and to be different than the fucking Grain Man shit that everyone's there.
Well, I will say, because Snob's not here, I do know his favorite was the big, like the larger black guy walking around with all the Chicago Bull stuff. That was his favorite.
Yeah, I saw he had like a Chicago Bulls hat and a he was going
like
black
a shirt,
Chicago Bulls hat, a black Chicago Bulls shirt, and like a black Chicago Bulls like sweatpants too. And like it was yeah. I saw that guy.
Can I just say my favorite company I saw? It's a company name I saw because that was also very interesting. Triple K Manufacturing. Just gonna put that out there.
No,
oh, you've
sir.
never seen Triple K?
No,
I've never
knew
seen them.
I didn't think that anyone had the balls to call
time.
themselves that.
Yeah, it's Triple K. Like they did gun leather and all kind of stuff.
Were they like dressed in all white in the booth?
I mean, it's
Just
Triple K.
saying.
It's leather goods. They probably made some leather accoutrement.
Around the corner, it's a recruiting depot for it, I'm sure. So, like, hey, once you fill this contact card out, and that goes straight to the Brotherhood, you know. Anyways, Spectre says, yeah, Chicago Mike was in that outfit. No shit. Was he really? Huh? All Chicago Bull stuff? I don't remember that. Okay. Maybe that's where we got the idea. I don't know.
It could be. That may have been it.
Yeah. All right. Let's start actually kind of having a fun discussion, but I want to bring in Kyle and Chase here real quick. We'll start with Kyle from the industry side. Was last year's NRA or NRAAM was your first as the social media guy for Anderson, correct?
Correct.
So this year versus last year, how was this year? Was it a good week for you guys?
Yeah, this is the best show I've been to thus far, and that's including SHOT Show.
Oh shit! I forgot. I fucking gizzard Clover. My bad, Clover. Okay, what was the best shirt you saw?
Oh, I'm going to totally.
If you want to say something like my fucking little pony shirt, I'm going to kick your ass.
Then fucking get ready to kick ass is all I got to say.
All right. Oh shit! What's up, my buddy? Tim's out there. Tim Knight's out there. Yeah. Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Anyways, go ahead. Your brony shirt.
No, it wasn't, but it was close. I seen a Mario Kart shirt that was pretty tight.
I did see that Mario Kart. I saw a dude that was an older gentleman, shaved head, jeans pulled up to the navel with his Walmart tennis shoes with a big ass green t-shirt that says Lucky Charms on it.
Oh, I did see that one.
Where's Clover when I need him?
I've seen that one. Yeah, I wished I would have thought and went and got my hat and glasses and took a picture with the dude, but I didn't think about it quick enough.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Kyle. Then we got Clover's. He's like I said, he's just here for the free publicity, so at least he's honest about it. So we're good. Was that enough publicity for now, Clover? Can I go to Kyle?
Maybe. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to Kyle.
I yield the floor to the gentleman.
You yield the floor to the gentleman from Kentucky. All right. Thank you, sir.
Will that be a yay or a nay?
That would be a yay. Okay, so we know that there's a Pony Express that you're going to pitch. How about a My Little Pony Cerakote job?
That's coming as well.
The Pony Express, the Pony Express, and My Little Pony Cerakote, man. Oh.
I'm just saying.
Oh, it's awesome.
We need it.
You gotta have fun with it, you know.
Oh, you really do. You truly do.
So I know you guys brought the Desi back for Range Day, and that was one of the most talked about. And I think Primary Arms came over and told you guys that they think that might have been the most shot gun at Range Day. Obviously, you had the Cerakote project going on. You had the AM10 giveaway project going on. Obviously, the Kiger's there. You got the new 9mm stuff coming out. But was it the Desi that kind of took over the show for you guys?
It really did. It stole the show. Range Day, I'm telling you guys, you gotta make it out next year. You and Clover, Chase.
I'll just have to get up there earlier. Yeah. By the time I made my plans, I couldn't. I didn't know about it when I was making my plans and that, you know.
It kind of came up last minute, to be honest with you. I think it was planned pretty close to the show itself. But
yeah, it was about a month, maybe a month. I mean, that's pretty close, you know.
Yeah, but it was amazing. It was an amazing.
You guys have got a lot of good foot traffic.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, we were the only booth there giving out full magazines. Everybody else was putting 4 or 5 in the mag.
That'll do it.
Yeah. We loaded them up 28, 30. So
nice.
I wish more would do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's so necessary, right? I mean, you got to shoot a gun. You got to run at least a mag there. Come on now.
Yeah, so the video on Anderson will be dropping Thursday. Go check that out. But
Slacker.
What?
Said slacker. What? I dropped mine about an hour ago. You
well, good for you. I had video drop yesterday when you were still driving home. So suck it. You know. Yeah, well, we can measure dicks here if you want.
Anybody got a micrometer?
Let's have jobs.
Yeah, true. But no, it's I think 6,000 rounds is what they estimated going through that gun on Thursday.
Yep.
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Chase, I'm gonna bring you in. Not because I love you and all of that. As far as handguns go that were new, like something we didn't see it shot, there weren't many. And I know that I had people in other booths that know that we're friends. But I had people that I knew that were asking me about the MC-14. So I know that it was well talked about. Was it as busy or the hype as big as what I think it was?
Absolutely it was. We had an overwhelming, ridiculous presence of people just constantly coming in wanting to see that gun. We had 3 of them floating around, and I didn't have enough guns to, especially Friday and Saturday, I didn't have enough guns to show everybody at once. Like we were having to get little groups of people and just kind of run through it, but it was extremely well received.
Yeah, they I don't know how it works, bro. I'm not in the industry, so I don't know how it works. But if the MC-14 doesn't win an award from NRAAM this year, like something's wrong. Like that's the only handgun, honestly, that's the only handgun that I consistently heard people talking for all over the show. Yep. So I don't know.
Yeah, I ran into a bunch of other guys I knew in the industry, and they're all like asking about it and wanting to come see it. You know, I took it out to a couple of like buddies' booths that couldn't get away, that kind of stuff. I mean, it was really well received, and I mean, I think that gun's going to do pretty well. I mean, just because it is. I mean, I know we're joking. I mean, we'd call it the solution, but it does fill that gap that a lot of people have.
It's polarizing too at the same time, right? So I mean, it's going to get some hate, but that's only going to help it.
Absolutely.
I was going through my analytics earlier on all the new videos that I've put up from NRAAM so far, and that MC-14 is just blowing every other video out of the water right now, like by 600 or 700 views over everything else.
I'm telling you, man, it's doing that. Like we're looking at like our analytics and like it's crushing everything right now. And I've talked to a couple people who run rather large firearm websites, and it's quickly becoming the most talked about thing on their sites as well.
Yeah, like I said, I had people from other booths far across the other end of the show floor. Like, hey, you're good friends with the EAA guys. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, hey, that little barrel that they don't know what it's called, but the little gun with the barrel that goes up. And I was like, yeah, the 14 the tip up barrel. And he goes, yeah, yes. He's like, you get your hands on it? I said, yeah, I had my hands on it this morning and all that. And he goes, is it real good? And I was like, it's real good. Like people were asking, like, what's all about? I said, man, just go check it out. Like, so
yeah, and I mean,
it was definitely the hype. It was the hype of the show from what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, handgun wise, nothing else came close to that. I mean, I will say I was kind of excited for the Disney too, as far as the rifles went, because I have a special place in my heart for the old Dissipator. But like you and Clover got to see that gun at shot.
We got to see that shot, and we almost like went ballistic. I was like, oh my god!
Oh, yeah, amazing.
And you saw and y'all saw how far that came from shot to now, just in a few months, how much more developed that gun got.
I mean, the only thing that's really the same was the tip up barrel. Let's be honest. I mean, everything else had been reworked. Grips was redone. You guys shaved off, like you said, the hard edges around all the controls. Also, I mean, there's a lot of work in the last basically 2 months, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were working on stuff like literally up to a few days before the show. Like we were constantly tweaking and improving on that thing, especially like on the grips. Like that was the one thing we wanted to really get right was the grip. I wanted texture, but I didn't want it being overly aggressive. And it's hard for me because I like really aggressive grips.
I'm the same way. Yeah. But, what I will say is I was surprised. When I got to Indianapolis Thursday afternoon, Chase made me aware that Henry just released a couple new guns, including revolvers. And so I was like, oh shit, like that's going to be the talk of the town is Henry going revolver. Once the show started, I didn't hear much about the Henry revolvers. People were kind of talking about it, but I didn't hear much hype about the Henry revolvers. Did you guys hear much about them after the show started?
Because I already knew about the runner up handgun wise, I think to the MC14T. I think runner up probably is the Henry revolver, right?
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, there's no innovation. There's nothing really new or different there.
It's just because it's Henry,
But it's awesome that you could have a big boy, a golden boy, and now you can have a matching Henry revolver. That's pretty freaking awesome.
That's pretty cool.
About it. Sharing calibers and cartridge and whatever. But yeah, as far as something actually being new and fresh and that sort of thing, it's the MC14T, hands down.
Yeah.
The Henry revolver was cool, but my biggest fear, with it being a brass grip, came true when I walked over to their booth. It was mid-show Friday. It was already tarnished to all get up, and it just looked ugly.
Oh, really? For everyone's handling and probably oil in their hand.
And again, I mean, you're probably going to, if you've got one, you're probably going to keep it and shoot it when you shoot your big boy, but it just did not hold up to being manhandled by a bunch of people. And I actually got to talk to the engineer from Henry who did the revolver. I was like, well, what's it based on? And he's like, well, it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this. We kind of put it together.
Yeah.
A little bit of country and a little bit of rock and roll.
Right.
There's only a couple in this room that understand that, but Kyle and John are not amongst them, I'm sure. Maybe not even Chase.
Oh, I'm there. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go to Chris real quick. Does it have to be a firearm? I mean, just whatever in general. What was the coolest product that just you left there going, oh my? Did you have that? That's the coolest thing at the show moment.
I was super excited to get over to the C&H Precision booth because I knew they were going to have all the new red dots over there and then the direct mount series. But then after looking at them, they just, I don't know. I mean, especially I've been on their website now and what they're asking for them, it was kind of, I just wasn't blown away. Like, I think I must have overhyped myself up on going over there and checking those out.
That happens.
I mean, non-gun related, I'd have to say the Swamp Fox Sentinel 2 is probably one of my favorite dots I got my hands on while I was there.
Okay.
And handgun wise, I mean, obviously we all like the MC-14. That was super cool. I was pretty impressed with the SAR 9 SOCOM. I went over there and did an interview with them and got my hands on that. For the price of it and what you're getting with it, I was.
Hey, I'm a big fan of SAR. I've been a big fan of SAR. They've had some interesting times the last few years. I'm just hoping that they make a good comeback because their quality, they're good stuff. I've been, when I got my first SAR 9 back in like 2018, I remember saying that to me, I'm not saying it's the best handgun. For me, the HK VP9 has always been my favorite feeling handgun. It just feels like, in my hand, a VP9 feels perfect. Well, that SAR 9 was basically the VP9 frame with a Glock 17 slide. So it's a great combination, the birth child of those. But no, I love SAR. I really hope everything can kind of get straightened out. They've had a tumultuous last couple of years, if you will. Just industry wide has had some interesting times, but yeah, I'm a big fan of SAR. And I did not get over to SAR to see the SOCOM, but I did hear a couple of people talking about it. So yeah, you're not the only one that said it's a pretty good one. Chicago Mike, how about trading your Taurus for the SAR 9? There you go. You can address that if you want.
I'm not getting rid of that G3 Tactical. I got too much work going on now, but I'd like to have both of them.
No kidding, right? Exactly. Ginger, you were doing a lot of walking around as well this weekend. Anything stand out in your mind that was pretty awesome?
So the thing that stands out in my mind, and it wasn't a product, really. I mean, again, I'm gonna have to say Chase's the 14T was great. I mean, that was
and for those of you that weren't at NRAAM, don't understand, we're not saying it's because Chase is our friend. Like, for me, the MC-14 might have won the best. I mean, if it doesn't win an award this year, something's wrong.
Yeah, and that was probably the talk of the show. There was a lot of people interested in it. There was a lot of people at their booth. But the thing that stands out for me it wasn't a product. It was actually software. Okay. And this is gonna sound weird, but I walked over over the Stealth Arms booth. Okay, Stealth Arms does the platypus. They have probably hands down the best 3D customizing software on the market. They had it showing off at their booth. You can customize every piece of the gun. It's 3D rendered as you're customizing it. You can rotate it and do it. And I kind of talked to him about it. I was like, whoever I talked to the developer while I was there, he was standing there. I'm like, you guys are missing a big opportunity of just selling this to the industry. Instead of your guns is great, but selling that software to the industry, there's nobody else doing that kind of 3D modeled customization feature in the industry right now, except for maybe if you guys remember Gun Builder at one point was doing something similar.
Oh yeah.
But this
it was not, looking back at it, it was not very good. At the time, it was kind of cool, but looking back on it now, you're like, yeah, that was pretty primitive,
Yeah. I mean, that's one of those things. Like, if somebody can, if they can sell that to other companies that do aftermarket stuff, or even like manufacturers to give the option to show aftermarket parts and stuff, they've got a long road ahead of them as being a firearms manufacturer, because they're doing that Glock 17 Mag 2011. But that software, if they've got money, there's money left on the table with that. And I hate to say that, because the guys who are industry guys know, like, that software really doesn't exist, and you'd love to have it on your website because it shows off everything. You can customize it.
And companies would pay a pretty penny to have the availability of that software, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah. So that was cool. The other one that was pretty cool was and I'm gonna get, because they are friends of mine, the dudes over at Matador Arms. If you don't know their story, it's pretty cool. The guys who own it now, they've come out with their Gen 2 9mm upper. It's pretty dope upper. Go check them out. They're, Alex and Dave, you guys probably know them from other companies and guys in the industry who they used to work for. So, but yeah, those guys are really took the game up of that design and made it look good. So that's another one that I really liked. And then just walking around the show, it was cool just to see everybody. And there was. But
yeah, we missed your SHOT Show, so it's been a while,
Yeah, it's been a minute. But yeah, there was nothing really. The only other optic that I saw that was cool, because Chris brought up an optic, is the new Hollow Sun Prism optics. Those are pretty cool. So
there you go.
That's my TED talk for the day.
TED talk for the day. There you go. Clove.
Yeah.
What you got? What stands out in your mind from the show?
You put the MC14T on the shelf, right? Put the Henry
exactly
probably too. Something that I really was impressed by to no end. I was wowed by it, and it's strictly because the pistol version I've never been a fan of, even though it's wildly popular, and that's the Strybog rifle.
Strybog, the rifle length 9mm. Yep.
I've never been a fan of the pistol, but when I walked over there and they had the rifle version, I was like, oh snap. That was pretty cool. We got the SCAR style stock. They've extended the handguard down to cover the vast majority of the barrel. And that was cool. And I thought, wow, way to get around. With all the BS we're dealing with braces and stuff, right? Like, I don't know how well, because the pistol is so popular, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how well everybody else receives it. So that's totally a personal thing with me. I get it. But I thought that was really cool.
So you bring up an interesting point. This has nothing to do with NRAAM. Just kind of chat.
And
here,
the fact that they're doing it in 22 as well, by the way.
No, I could give a shit about that, but
yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, for sure. The Strybog. Interesting question. This is up for everybody, so don't worry about me calling you out. Just let's have a conversation about this. With everything that is going on with pistol braces and all that, it was very prevalent at NRAAM this year, the lack of braces. Like, it was noticeable. Like, it is what it is. I'm a fan of them. Now, a lot of people aren't a fan of bullpups, but with everything going on with the pistol braces and all that, do you think we're going to start seeing some more bullpup designs for the people that do like? It's a 16-inch barrel, so you can put whatever you want to on it, but having that smaller frame as far as length and all of that, maybe that's why I like bullpups. I have short T-Rex arms, but do you guys open to any of you? Do you think we'll start seeing some more bullpup with all the craziness?
I hope not.
I don't think bullpups, but I think we'll see either more folding stuff or more 13.7s with a pin and weld.
With a pin and weld, okay.
Yeah, I think
that is actually probably a legitimate statement right there. Yeah,
yeah, because
that's what they. That's what talking about. I was talking about the Strybog rifle in 22. Was talking with them about that, and they said that the version they had there was an SBR, and they said that was one of the issues. In order for it to work properly and all, it's going to have to end up having a shroud or something pinned and welded. They're not going to be able to go with a 16-inch barrel on it for some reason or another. So, we may start seeing some stuff like that. I agree.
Yeah, I talked to Faxon for a little bit because you guys know, I know those guys well enough to talk about the 13.7 and everything like that. Kyle's in here. Kyle, what do you think? Is it the 13.7 or 14.5 with the pin and weld?
Yeah, somewhere in there. I think the 14.5, but the 13.7, it's not a big difference. So.
Well, the 14.5, you could get away with the old basic, flash hider / bird cage, whatever you want to call it, because that's about 1.5 inches. But I think there's an interesting, the 13.7, you're talking now 2.5 inches or whatever, that you could come up with some different muzzle devices, if you will, that could be fun to play with, you know.
I've always liked 11.5s, and then do like a 5-inch or whatever flash hider. I've got a couple of rifles that are done that way.
It's a pretty big flash hider, but
That's a monster.
Well, you know
on XM2s.
a good example would be my XM177 copy, right? I mean, that's so.
No, it just hit me that, you know, I'm a fan of bullpups, so I wouldn't mind if there was a little renaissance in bullpups and all that. So we'll see.
Are you gonna? You think like we're gonna see more flux suppressors that are pinion welded?
I think you're going to see a lot. I think you're going to see a lot more of the flux capacitors.
Well, if you're going to do a suppressor, why would you not?
You may not be old enough to understand the flux capacitor is either. So,
right. But if you're going to start talking suppressors, at that point you're starting to talk NFA. Why not just SBR it anyway and be done?
I mean, right. I mean,
the one that got me was kind of across the aisle and kind of, I don't know, a few boosts down. There were a couple companies that had basically non-NFA suppressors, but they weren't calling them suppressors. They all had goofy names. But the way the core was designed, it was a non-NFA item.
Has that been like actually proven that it's not NFA, or that's what they're saying?
Yeah, I mean they had the ATF like OK letters on the table and all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah, or they had put them off, have them evaluated.
Wasn't it Strike that used to do that too with the noise
Strike
dampener?
used to do something similar, like the noise dampeners, and so that's another route people can roll as far as doing a shorty, and you can have one of those permanently attached. Same as like Clover saying the old 177 style flash hiders,
the flash hider I think is a cool way of doing it. I mean, it's what it is, you know.
But the ATF letter stuff bothers me because what are we dealing with now? We're dealing with braces, we're dealing with bump stocks, we're dealing with things that the 80%ers that the ATF goes,
they had letters on for those as well for 10 years. Yeah,
right.
All that was perfectly legal a couple of years ago. Now they're changing their mind because administration's changed.
Mm-hmm. Well, that brings up a good topic or kind of sidebar. The NFA stuff, and Chase you might know better, but C Products is coming out with a new can that's got a 30 cal core and a 223 core, and they're saying that those are not NFA items. It's the tube that's the NFA item that you can.
So basically, the serialized part is the NFA item. So if they're serializing like the mount or the outer tube itself, that's what's considered the NFA part. So you can swap cores out. The problem is you get into the weirdness of the NFA and the ATF that can change, can amend those rules.
They can redefine it tomorrow. Yeah.
Well, and there's a problem. There's a problem. So I've got quite a few Form 1s, right? And so here's the consensus that I've gotten from ATF in this area, as well as some opinion letters and other things that I hold, is as long as you have got your stamp back, right? And as long as you've got the serialized tube, having parts is fine.
Yeah.
But having the parts, like the core you're talking about, without having the tube and the stamp back, that's problematic because that could be considered intent.
Yeah. Where the problem is run into now is they've changed their mind on certain components.
Yeah.
So like because of the home build suppressor kits, now you have wipes that are in older suppressors, and like the dead air, like the Ghost has the wipes in it. Every one of those wipes is considered an NFA item now. So you can't get just the parts and replace it yourself without doing stamps for those stupid rubber gaskets. You have to physically send the can back to dead air and let them do the work.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're seeing a lot of oh man, what am I thinking? The cans that are configurable, right? They've got the multiple pieces, and you make it shorter and longer, and that sort of thing.
All the modular cans,
and the blast baffle on those, like the blast baffle part is the only part that's serialized.
Yeah,
I just sent that can in the group chat, guys. So
I saw that. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that's their new can. They're saying it's adjustable for gas on the outside, like that end cap. If you see the silver end cap, it adjusts the gas flow. It's got holes and you twist it. They're saying it's 100% field serviceable, and you just send back those baffles. If you get a baffle strike, you send that back, and they send you a new baffle. So that's why I'm asking for the NFA, because that was one of the cool things that I forgot that I saw.
That could be if it's right, if it's true, that could be pretty game changing for if that's the starting point. What's the next generation of that? That could be kind of interesting. I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, that was C Products who did that one. C Products Duramag. It was at the Duramag booth.
Okay. All right.
Everybody's building cans now.
I mean, that's what the ATF is for, for us to get creative on how to avoid it, we avoided it on so many different things for so long, and now it's just kind of get creative again. Real quick for me, the coolest thing that I saw, obviously taking out several different things we've already talked about, over at the Umarex booth, there was a 240 Bravo, which everyone knows I'm a big 240 Bravo guy, and they had an airsoft 240 Bravo. He said it was what,
4,000 round capacity.
Yeah, 4,000 capacity, but it was like 1,200
a minute. Yeah, 1,200.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it was pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, that's some cool ass shit.
Yep.
But here's the thing about Umarex. If you guys aren't familiar with Umarex, Umarex is amongst the world leaders in airsoft and all that. But they just keep constantly coming up, which is badass. Like the 50 cal last year. Then they had the double-barreled arrow gun, last year.
The 20 gauge.
The 20 gauge. I mean, it's just like they come out with some badass stuff. But that saw for me was the coolest thing I saw. Like, it's a capacity of 4,000 and 1,200 per minute. That would be a blast. Like, let the squirrels act up around here with that thing. Right. I'm just going to start unleashing the trees and just going, like, you can't beat this thing. You're not going to outrun this thing. Yeah, that was the coolest thing I saw for sure. Out for the panel, let's start a conversation again. I was talking with Chase about it earlier today, and I asked him, and he was kind of the same way I was. In years past, there's always scuttlebutt. There's always word coming down from the actual NRA meetings with the membership, and especially this time in 2019, where Indy is when the whole Ollie North thing took over and started this weird spiral for the NRA. For me, and maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I did not hear a single thing that people were talking about from the meetings. Am I the only one, or did I miss something?
I heard a little bit, but I talked to quite a few of the 2A, movers and shakers, right? Not just the industry people. And I ended up catching, I think it was on the last day, I think it was Sunday, mainly because she was in a bunch of meetings. But Amanda Supplicool got voted to the board last year. So I was talking to her, and she said, and so I'd heard a couple other people I talked to had mentioned it, but Rick Ector got voted to the board this year, which is pretty cool.
Nice. So, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So, but that's it. But that's it. That's all. That is it
from the meetings. I didn't even hear that. Like, I didn't hear. Literally, did not hear anything come from the meetings. Yeah. I didn't know if I was the only one.
There was no chatter on the floor, really, at all.
No, there was nothing.
Well, Tim's in here, so that's always a good. Hey, Tim, it's been a while.
Is it Tim?
Hey, no, the only thing I heard, it was weird. It was in the media room when I walked over to. They were talking about Trump's speech, and somebody from the NRA called Trump out for being privileged to have a New York concealed carry permit while he was on stage with him. So that's the only kind of thing I heard, nice. And it was kind of like
interesting,
quick blip, and then done.
Nice.
Yeah, and he admitted that he was because he had one.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the same guy that says, look, don't talk to me about tax shelters. I use them. I know they're messed up, but if they're there, I'm going to use them. If I can use the tax shelters, I'm going to use them. If he can get a carry permit in New York because he's Donald Trump, hey,
I get it.
I
mean, they
will
want
be a
to.
billionaire. No, I'm just saying. I mean, he
Yeah.
is.
So,
you know,
yeah, former president, and I get it because there's some polarization there. I mean, he's definitely got a staunch following, loyal following, I should say.
That's one word for it.
What baffles me is that when any pro Second Amendment organization, or in the NRA's case, supposed pro Second Amendment
Alleged,
organization,
yeah,
has
absolutely.
a dude on stage to speak that says, take the guns first, we'll worry about due process later, and bans bump stocks, and you still invite him to speak at your thing? Like, have you lost your mind? Like,
no, it's called selling tickets. It's called selling tickets.
I get it, but it's also
The
called selling out.
hypocrisy is strong with the NRA. Let's be honest.
It's also called selling out, but I get you.
It is. Same thing, same difference.
In that vein, you look at some of the large organizations that were not there this year. There were
large organizations and other like larger corporate people that have been longtime corporate sponsors of the NRA that were not there. That's almost as telling as who wasn't there, whether it's organizations or companies. Who wasn't there is just as telling as anything. But I'll say this. I haven't been to a ton of them, but I'll say this. As far as foot traffic goes, it was pretty insane this year. Friday was by far the busiest Friday I'd ever seen at NRAAM in the short time that I've been going.
Hands down.
And so Chase and Kyle from the industry side, what did you guys notice of foot traffic? Was it bigger than you guys anticipated or what?
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot more than I anticipated. And I was just talking to Chris about this before the show. It's my favorite show of the year because you get to see like the end user of your product. So they're actually like coming up to you and telling you about their experience. Telling you about some of your different products. And
it's still SHOT Show-ish, but you have that different element with the consumer end user and all of that. Yeah, absolutely.
You really do. It brings a different energy.
Chase, you've been going to these things for a long time in different capacities. Where does this one rank up there as far as foot traffic and busyness?
I mean, foot traffic, especially Friday and Saturday, was definitely up. It crushed last year. It was, I mean, we stayed super busy Friday and Saturday, and you could see the attendance was back. I mean, this was like your pre-COVID NRA shows.
For me, the 2019 Indy was big. The 2018 in Dallas was crazy, if I remember.
Yeah.
This reminded me of that. I thought it was actually busier, maybe because there was a different design of the show floor and all that. To me, it seemed bigger than Dallas.
The Dallas venue sucks. That's my opinion on it.
No doubt.
It's cramped in there. The way it's laid out, it's just not the same. Even Houston was a much better venue than Dallas.
I like Indianapolis's layout. Now I don't know what you guys, Kyle and Jace, is from the industry. Yeah, I kind of dig it. It was easy to maneuver,
Yeah, it's easy to navigate. But I'll say it's like the crowd had a whole different vibe this time around.
Yeah, they did.
And I mean, like Kyle said, this show, I mean, it could get a little on the overwhelming side after you talk to that many people over a few days.
Mm-hmm.
But that show in like Great American, you get all the feedback right there. And most of these people aren't going to hold back. You go to SHOT Show, you go to some of these like, dealer shows we go to, and, people choose their words wisely a lot of times because they don't want to just outright offend you, because then they're not going to get anything out of you anymore.
Yeah. Roll Call says that Saturday was wild. I'm surprised he remembers Saturday because he came over to the house. Kyle was there. John was there. He came over to the house Saturday night, and I don't think he probably doesn't remember much about Saturday night. We had a good time at the house, though. We had a good time. But yeah, that was just something for me. It was just one of those things I remember saying several times on Friday, like, this seems awfully like big for a Friday. Like this is different for a Friday.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like we had dinner Sunday night with some senior NRA people, and they could definitely confirm that attendance was up.
Oh, they had to have been.
Like they did, and it wasn't like the fudge numbers like you hear, all the fluff stuff. Like this is some people I know aren't going to BS us. And he's like, we don't have Sunday yet, obviously, because Sunday are still tallying everything, but Friday and Saturday numbers were definitely up.
Yeah.
I mean,
roll call. Go ahead.
We also didn't have the protesters that we thought we were going to have, because when we pulled in, there was 2, and then I heard there were none outside.
There was more good protesters than there were bad.
I didn't see any on Friday. None. Saturday, I saw 2.
There was an old dude, remember, on Friday.
We saw a couple.
The old dude that got punked by Project Appleseed.
That was Saturday. Are
you sure that wasn't Friday?
I'm almost positive. I might be wrong, but that's what I was. I only saw a couple on Saturday. One of them got basically like sent home by Appleseed. Yeah. It was hilarious.
I seen more people.
If you're gonna hold a sign that says these children's bloods are on your hand, make sure you're not doing as Appleseed's walking by, whose sole purpose is child advocacy. And Clover and I were watching it. Like we witnessed this. And if I'm lying, he'll tell you they were having a discussion. And it was a civil discussion, but it was the discussion. And the next thing you do is you see the guy holding the sign walking down the road away. He was gone.
And walk off.
Turned around and left. He got owned by Appleseed. It was phenomenal.
But I've seen more people. I've seen more people holding signs, walking through and holding signs and stuff, and even driving. I've even seen a couple of vans and stuff talking about how the NRA was not 2A or didn't do enough 2A. And I can get on board with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I've seen more.
That young man on Friday, he was literally walking past the main entrance. We're out there smoking. And he's got this little poster board that says the NRA doesn't do enough for 2A. We're like, and everyone out there was like, hell yeah. Like, like, where are you going? Stay here.
That's the good protesters. And there were far more of those. I've seen far more of that type of sentiment than I did, anti-gun. And
as far as anti go, I can probably count on 2 hands. Like, I bet you there wasn't 10 that I saw all weekend combined.
Well, we saw those 2 when we pulled in, and they were like walking away defeated.
They're walking away. Yeah,
there was nobody there. But I think that also helped because Houston, it was droves of protesters.
See, I wasn't there last year, and besides the numbers, some of the things that they did that I've heard about, way over the top, way unnecessary. You're talking about the baby coffin and all that. Like that's bad. They were
very confrontational in Houston. It wasn't like that, Indy. Like the biggest thing
they were like cussing at everybody. On top of that, they were just cussing at everybody.
Oh yeah, I mean they had to they finally moved them back after the first day, and they got pushed back by Houston PD.
Their signs were horrendous. Like
they were rough,
and the vulgarities and everything they were screaming. It was horrible.
I mean, they're screaming like old people and kids and shit walking in.
But but it was in Houston, and Uvalde had just happened, right? So you're talking fairly close proximity to get some people in, right? Like nothing really happened around Indiana, so it's like,
Apparently, there was a shooting Saturday night in Indiana that I just heard about after I left. I don't know.
I'd heard about the one in Alabama or something. I didn't hear about it.
No, there was that one, but there was one Saturday night in Indiana, and apparently, I don't know. It was in the group chat that we were talking. Someone talked about it. They were trying to blame NRA for the shooting on Saturday night in Indianapolis.
So I guess from talking to a few people, and one of them told me that there was a shooting right outside of their Airbnb in Indianapolis, and there were like kids with ARs and ski masks like walking the streets downtown. So I don't know.
I didn't see any of that.
I didn't see any of
that.
You
guys were downtown eating dinner. You guys never saw that, did you?
I didn't see any of that.
I didn't see any of that. Now I will say, like when we were checking out at a hotel Monday morning, the guy checking us out, because this was like 5:45 in the morning. It was dark outside. He's like, "Hey,
you out, huh?"
he yeah, he he was like, "Hey, do me a favor. If
Is he
anybody
like,
comes up,
hey, or is he hey?
anybody comes up to the door, like if they don't have a key card, do not let them in." He said, "We had an incident
Oh,
last
really?
night. I can't really talk about it, but nobody's coming in this hotel if they don't have a key card."
Really?
I was like, "Care to elaborate? Because I'll shoot somebody."
Yeah, I didn't hear about. I didn't even hear about the Indianapolis shooting until Monday morning.
I didn't hear anything about it till I was on the way home.
It was
Yeah.
like a block party that popped off, is what it sounded like.
Well, that could have been our party.
It was prom night.
Yeah,
That's possible.
Well, I mean, what are the odds? I mean, any major city, you know, that happens on a fairly regular basis anyway, right?
I mean,
Major
I was
cities,
a
so.
slippery noodle till 1 a.m. Sunday morning. So
There's like, you got lucky, my friend, because I've heard stories from Pincus and Sedini talking about the slippery noodle. It is an interesting place, at least some
we had a
nights.
great time. Now, don't be wrong, the server was as clear as day is long.
No, not talking about that. We'll talk.
I know, but I'm saying like we didn't have they had going on.
Now, roll call brings up a good point, and me and John and Kyle and Clover are the only ones in this room who understand this. He says, "Well, they didn't ride down the bike lane." That's true. We witnessed. John might not even been back yet. You might not
That
have
Challenger. That Challenger will
wasn't
never be
back
the
yet.
same again.
that Challenger is done.
Like
He
we're
hopped that
smoking
curve, and
rattling.
he actually came back about 10 minutes later. I guess he's looking for parts that fell off.
smoking and rattling and just it's horrible. Yeah.
See a Challenger going 60 down a bike lane because it
After
hopped
it jumped,
missed the turn. Yeah.
missed the turn, jumped the median, and went into the back lane. Yeah.
And going 60 and shit's just it was fantastic. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
You know, for a
seemingly
seemingly sketchy as a place as we stayed in, it
Mhm.
was not that bad.
It was actually very enjoyable. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
I think we had a different experience than John did, but you know,
There was just some weird smell coming from somewhere. I don't know where it came from.
You could have
have been 17 eggs and protein drinks. I don't know.
I was about to say, would it involve an egg fast by chance?
Yeah. Do we care to do this? And I'm not saying don't mention the company. If you want to, you can. I don't care. If you feel uncomfortable with that, don't mention the company. And Roll Call says he missed a fire hydrant. That dude missed a fire hydrant by about 3 inches. Like, legit. That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. That was right in front of the house too.
Right in front of the house. We like boom, like, oh, there was a wreck. It wasn't a wreck. That dude just.
Well, I was talking about the fire hydrant.
Oh, the fire hydrant. Yeah. How the hell? First of all, how that Challenger got down the bike lane.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I really don't. There is no way, but he did. Tim says, "Man, I miss you guys. These stories. I think you always had more of an eventful time. We have fun." Tim knows. You know, we hey, when we're out somewhere, it's work, but we're also going to enjoy ourselves, and mostly we enjoy ourselves because we're around each other. We get to hang out with each other, and that's really ultimately what it is being able to enjoy each other as friends. That we get to see each other a few times a year. So
we should try to
Tim. We miss you, Tim. We miss you, buddy.
We should try to get Tim to IV-88 somehow. That way he can come hang out with us because Tim, it's been a long time since
I know we got to get him. We got to get him out of exile and somehow, for sure.
I think he mentioned something about being in Dallas next year, so that would be. I hope so too. But yeah, we missed him.
Is it I thought it was. Is it Dallas or Houston?
It's Dallas.
It was supposed to have been Houston, but they announced it in Dallas next year.
Well, that's because they had to move.
Go home.
With the cough, it really screwed up like their schedule or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it messed the schedule up, but Dallas or Houston also said point blank they didn't want us there anymore. Like they do not want the NRA there anymore.
I guess they just don't like
Well, I'm sure
$1,000,000,000 at boosting their economy,
I'm sure, yeah, and you think about that, but you think about the boost of their economy, and then think about with the protesters anyway, which I'm sure left a bad taste in their mouth. I mean, look at all
that's their own damn fault. That's their own damn.
I get you, but look at all the troopers and like all the law enforcement and everything that was there. I mean, I felt sorry in Houston for the amount of officers and stuff that had to come out and try to babysit protesters being stupid.
Dude,
it wasn't our side being stupid. And so, and there was hundreds and hundreds of law enforcement there, and all of them.
And so maybe them saying we don't want NRA there has nothing to do with them wanting NRA there. It's what the NRA show brings outside the show, the protesters and all that stuff.
Well, I'm sure there's some I'm sure
Mayor Houston himself said absolutely not again. Like, I'm letting it happen now because contracts are signed and I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
But we absolutely do not want you back in our town. Like, that was the mayor of Houston.
I'm sure there are anti-2A, anti-gun sentiment. It is there, right? Without a doubt.
Sure.
But I'm sure the logistics and a bunch of other stuff they had to go through doesn't help the situation, is all I was saying.
Oh, no. You look at the federal presence alone because of Trump being there last year with all the madness on top of it. Like, the federal presence was insane.
Yeah. The most annoying thing to me that happened outside the show this week was the 17-minute ringing of the church bells every hour. That was annoying.
Oh, I agree. Oh my God.
Like, that was much more annoying than the four. Oh, it was bad. Like, it was much more annoying than the four protesters we saw.
At least tune your bells, people. Come on.
Yeah. Real quick, thanks to Pat in the Bunker, $10 super chat. Just thanks for the show, fellas. Been a minute, just busy as F. So yeah, I get that. I understand. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate you very, very much. But yeah, so I want to. This will be the last kind of question that we talk about. And once again, you can. I don't care. It's not going to hurt my feelings if you want to mention companies. But if you want to spare some feelings, you don't have to mention the companies. But were there any what was what the hell were you thinking product? Did you guys see anything? You're just like, God, that was whoever came up with that should not be working for that company more. Did y'all see any of those? They were just like, I don't get it. Like, bad products.
I'll start it off because I'm not scared.
Yep.
And I was gonna suggest hey, is there something you saw you didn't like or thought was ridiculous?
Yeah.
So we're on the same brainwave there. And we all talked about this.
That I'm on the same brainwave as you. That scares me. I need to go get checked out, I think.
I know. But we all talked about the show. But for me, and I got to walk around a little bit, before the show when I saw the initial ad on it, the freaking headrest vault. What a ridiculous ass idea.
You don't like having a gun safe behind your head? What's wrong with you?
I mean, hold on, sir. Let me randomly search around to hit some buttons and hopefully don't shoot myself in the back of the freaking head as I try to get whatever bullshit carry gun out.
No, I agree.
Or I'm an Uber driver and my passenger steals my gun.
Yeah. So you're like riding Uber and somebody figures out your 1, 2, 3, 4 code and hijacks your ass.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Yeah, I would agree. That's up there for sure. Anybody else? Kyle, did you get to walk around much? You guys were so damn busy. I don't know how much you got to walk around and see anything.
Yeah, I got around Saturday, and it was mainly just grab patches and stickers for the dudes back at the shop. But I won't say it's stupid, but because I'm gonna try it out to see if it's stupid. But I had something interesting come through our booth. So it's it's a buffer spring, but it's like wrapped and it looks like felt. He says it's polymer.
What is that, velvet?
Yeah. And it's like fuzzy.
Some of you would know what that means too. Most of you
So I'm gonna take it to the range and shoot the hell out of it. See, it's supposed to be silent, so we'll see how it goes.
I was gonna say just a silent capture spring.
Yeah. So I'll keep you guys updated on that.
Interesting. Yeah, let me know. Now, Ro call out there. You met Ro Saturday night at the house.
Yeah.
He says he didn't get an Anderson t-shirt. He's a little pissed about that.
You didn't stop by. I was looking for you Sunday.
I don't think they were there very long on Sunday, if they were at all.
I would have loved to see you guys stop by.
To be fair,
I'll get you one, bro.
To be fair,
I asked Kyle for a T-shirt while at his booth, and he told me flat out no. So I just.
Well, he also said he didn't have any that fit your ass. So
that's true.
Ginger size.
Yeah,
they don't sell ginger size T-shirts.
Sorry, Kyle. Sorry. There goes my commission on the Pony Express.
No, I still got you on that. I can get you guys T-shirts though. I'll ship them to you guys.
I got me a sweet ass hat for sure though. That hat is actually pretty. It was a camo hat and it had like the brown leather patch up front. Dude, I got one of those. It's pretty badass. I'll wear the hell out of that.
Yeah,
I'll rock the Pony Express.
Oh,
We're going to start calling the My Little Pony. I'm going to start rocking the My Little Pony.
I'll wear mine today because I'm not a silly ginger that annoys people. So it's cool like that.
Or just a silly ginger. You could have stopped the sentence at silly ginger and we would have understood.
I mean, I didn't annoy that many people. I promise. Maybe.
I mean, he brought it to me because he's cool like that.
I see how it is.
Damn, you always telling me out to John. John, I love you, buddy. I don't.
It's okay. It's okay. It's
They're
okay.
making it look real bad. Damn.
So the gun snob met his walking logo this weekend. The guy with the full tuxedo and top hat. I was like, oh my God, did Snob hire them to be the walking billboard for his logo? Now, I think Snob, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I think Snob, since that is his logo, doesn't Snob need to show up to SHOT next year in a tuxedo? At least a tuxedo T-shirt.
Yeah,
at least a tuxedo T-shirt.
Yep, at least one day.
Let's take it to a vote. So
yes.
Yep.
Kyle says nay.
Yeah. I'm going to take it one step further, and I say he and OB have to show up in like the blue and orange Dumb and Dumber tuxes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Cane.
The blue, the orange and the powder blue ones with the ruffled shirts, top hats and canes,
tails, cane, the whole nine.
Oh, that's
I'm going to
I
say
agree.
right now, Wednesday at 1 p.m. at the EAA booth of SHOT Show Week, Snob and Obnoxious have a booth appearance dressed as Dumb and Dumber. It is official.
Apparently, I made a mistake last night in our group chat that mentioned a Colonel Sanders outfit. So there might be a Bobby Boucher and Colonel Sanders thing going on at SHOT. Medulla oblongata. Yes,
Friday afternoon when no one's around.
That's good because I won't be there Friday. I leave at like 3:00 on Friday afternoon. So
Mama said, alligator on Rick because I don't have teeth and they ain't got no toothbrush.
I mean, you're talking about the company that our water cooler has a Bobby Boucher picture, says that's some high quality H2O.
Oh God, yeah.
So I mean, like, here's something that Clover and I were talking about. And this might be something that needs to be a private chat, which we'll talk about in a private chat. But there's got to be a movie, and Waterboy may or may not be the one. There needs to be a movie that we get our whole crew one day to all buy in on a different character and dress up like certain people, Gun Snob says, currently shopping for a Dumb and Dumber suit. Bro, if I'm going to wear a Colonel Sanders suit, then you and OB can wear the Dumb and Dumber tuxes.
Beautiful.
You could do it at range day, or you would stand out at range day.
Oh, well.
You guys should pull off the Anchorman crew.
You wouldn't be able to keep your top hat on.
Oh my God. The Anchorman crew. Well played, Kyle. The Anchorman crew. We all could buy in. Oh.
Yep.
I am Ron Burgundy.
I am. Right. Go fuck yourself.
Smell of rich mahogany and leather-bound books.
This is illegal in 90% of the countries. Sex Panther. Rawr.
Works 60% of the time. All the time.
It works every time. Yeah. Oh my God.
We could just all do like a random Will Ferrell character all together.
Oh, we could
Clover
do Will
has to
Ferrell
be
from
Elf.
different movies. Oh, that could be good.
Clover in tights or Snob in tights. Snob could be Elf.
Anybody, let's be honest, anybody in tights is worth it. I don't care. Gary in tights.
Oh God, can we do that? Can we make that a thing
we
now?
We gotta make that happen. We gotta make that happen.
Gary, you're gonna be Elf.
So if we could all here, how about just doing Men in Tights and doing a spoof on Men in Tights?
Oh,
we could all be in tights. Man, we gotta talk about this.
Excited for that.
If we're gonna do Will Ferrell, I want Ricky Bobby.
I'm already calling Ricky Bobby. It's my booth.
I called it first.
Bruh, I'm from Alabama.
Gary says, "Oh hell no,
hell no."
I'll let you have it. I'll let you.
You ain't first and last, boys.
As long as none of you are Ricky or Will Ferrell from Old School, I think we're good. No one's going streaking at SHOT Show. Sorry.
Frank the Tank? No. I'm not gonna do the birthday suit, Frank the Tank. I'm gonna do the Frank the Tank that's talking about going to Home Depot and Lowe's. It's gonna be a full day, you know.
I call Gator. That's it.
I got semi-pro.
Oh snap! That's a great call. That's a great call.
See, Snob and OB could do Step Brothers.
They could. No, I don't care what our theme is. Snob and OB are going to do Dumb and Dumber. Like, I don't care what anyone else is doing. The Dumb and Dumber tuxes have got to be there. That's a must.
Yeah,
I do. I think that's got to be a thing.
How much trouble would I get in for wearing a wooden gun at SHOT? That is the question.
You're not, because we wear real guns at SHOT.
Yep.
I mean, nobody does that. Nobody carries a firearm there.
It's the safest place in Vegas. No one ever carries in there.
No. Not at all.
Yeah. All right. We got plenty to talk about in the after chat.
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna make this happen. Chris, want to bring you in. Overall, had a good weekend at NRAAM and all of that. Tell people what's coming down the line and where they can find you. And I know you got a big show tomorrow night as well.
Yeah, we're going live at 9 Eastern tomorrow night, and kind of talking about all the same stuff we talked about tonight. I honestly,
because this was kind of, I said probably a lot more professionally than what we did tonight.
I don't know about that.
We have a good time. I don't care. We're just gonna have a good time.
We're gonna have fun tomorrow too. So, I honestly had a great show. It was. I told Kyle when we were in the back chat at the beginning, that was probably my favorite show yet. SHOT Show was stressful for me because I'd never been there and didn't know what I was doing, and so coming into NRAAM, it was just everything just went perfect, the way I wanted it to go, and made a lot of great contacts while I was there. Got a lot of cool stuff coming from people that I met there and companies I talked with, and I think it was very successful as far as, it was just a great time. It was just a lot more, to me, it was just a lot more relaxing than what SHOT Show was. Not that I had a great time at SHOT, but it was, I just was glad.
It's a different show. It's a different vibe. Yeah, for sure.
And it's just, now that I'm getting some shows under my belt, they're just getting easier now for me. And it was, man, I don't have anything negative to say. I had a great time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chris loves the scooters.
Yeah.
The scooters, if you're not familiar with Indianapolis, the scooters are a thing. Faux show. That's kind of part of one of the funniest things I've ever seen happen in 2019 with Sedini and Pincus and getting filling the scooter saying, "Here comes Pincus." It was great. Phenomenal. Yeah, the scooters are a part of the whole thing. Ginger,
what's up?
You got that event's coming up here in the next month or so, for the next few weeks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Up in Ohio?
So for those who didn't see me at NRA, I was wearing this patch all weekend. So this is for Southeastern Guide Dogs. Again, the event's coming up May 20th. Still looking for donations. I know I've hit a couple people in this room up. So if you have donations, I'd love to get it. Anything at this point. I know we've got Stag is on board. I hit up Kyle, so hopefully Kyle, Chase, if you're nice enough to me, if you love me, he's probably gonna throw things at me.
Loving and being nice here are two.
Yeah, it's two different things.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for the event for those guys, even though I won't be able to make it there. But yeah, it's May 20th at the Humidor in Newark, Ohio. So go check that out if you're in the Ohio area. It's a good time. Cigar manufacturers will be there. There'll be giveaways, auctions, all the above, and it's just to raise money for a great charity that supports our veterans.
Absolutely. Roll Call says he's saving up to go to a SHOT Show just to see this. So awesome. Go ahead, Chase.
I was gonna say, where's Newark, Ohio? I'm just curious now.
It's just outside of Columbus. It's Chris, what is it? It's the east of Columbus, right?
Yeah, but honestly, I've never been to Newark. I've
You're
never
not-
been there.
Even he's
You're
going,
not
what he's talking about. I have no idea what the hell he's talking about.
You're not, unfortunately, you're not missing much in Newark.
I'm not from Ohio, but I definitely haven't heard of Newark, Ohio.
I hadn't either. I'm like, what major city is this next to?
Yep. Clover, if you were to do anything on your YouTube channel or anything like that, what can people might be expecting to see in the next week or two from you?
Well, I've got 6 videos out of off the floor at NRAAM. So the first drop today with Anderson with Kyle. So go check that one out here in a bit if you get a chance. And then those will be dropping over the next week or so. I'll get those out pretty quick because I when you go to a show, I mean, I like to. For me, that stuff's time sensitive, right? Like, who wants to watch an NRAAM video 6 months from now? And then we've got the podcasts that kick back off this week, and we've got 3 weeks, I think, or something like that, 3 or 4 weeks of the podcast left. So those will kick back off this week. So there'll be almost content every single day this week, and then maybe next, and then it's time to get back to work on all the T&E stuff and everything we're behind on, and we'll have more stuff rolling in from NRAAM. So yeah, fun.
Ghost,
including a pallet of freaking ammo. Thanks, Ghost.
You're welcome. I hooked him up. We were at Global, and we were having a meeting in there with Kat and some other guys. There's about 5 of us in there, and trying to figure out what they need to get out to creators and what we're all kind of interested in and getting and all of that. And so we get away from guns, and she's like, ammo. I got a ton of ammo that I need to get to some people. He's like, who's a shotgun guy? And she looks at me and I said, you know better. Like, don't even look at me. Like, I don't give a shit about shotgun ammo. And I said, but wouldn't it be awesome? I was like, well, what do you have? And she's like naming off like 12 different shotgun ammos that she's got, and she's got to get information on all of them. I said, wouldn't it be great if you were to, now I want to preface this by saying I meant like a box of each, right?
Yeah.
I said, wouldn't it be great if you sent like a box of every kind of ammo to Clover? Because I think he'd be phenomenal at doing an educational series, being able to describe to the people out there what each individual ammo does for shotguns. What they're used for, what they're good for, what they're bad for. He's looking at me like, go to hell, bro. And then it gets worse because, hell yeah, that's a great idea. I'm going to send a case of each one of the ammos. So he's going to have a pallet of shotgun shells that he's going to have to do something with. It was phenomenal.
I don't know how they're going to deliver it.
I don't know either. A forklift? I mean, they're going to have a forklift.
Please film you unloading that truck, Clover.
I know, right?
Yes.
We all want to see that.
Okay. All right, Kyle, I'm going to bring you in. Once again, it's great seeing you. Thanks for going over to the house and hanging out with us on Saturday night. It was great hanging out, telling stories. telling lies, if you will, whatever. It was fun hanging out. But as far as Anderson goes, my video for Anderson drops Thursday. My first video came out yesterday. That was with EAA. I think Thursday I've got Anderson. Friday I've got Riker USA, and Saturday I think I've got Black Rain Ordnance, and Sunday I can't remember. They're all going to be done by Sunday. Once again, time sensitive, so we're going to kind of go full auto on the videos coming out here. But you guys have the Cerakote of the month. You've got the Dissipator. You've got the Kiger. You've got the 9 stuff coming out. The AM10 still going strong, and everything else you guys are doing. It's kind of an exciting time for Anderson. But I want to give you a chance to talk about what's going on in Anderson. Tell people where they can reach you and all that stuff.
Yeah, so the Dissipator goes live on the website on Monday. So be on the lookout for that. The APOM's still available till the 31st of this month. So get your orders in. This is not going to be ran ever again. AndersonManufacturing.com. Come check us out.
And without getting in trouble or anything, is there any hint as to next month's design at all that people are going to be maybe expecting? Maybe not a design, but is it going to be similar to what's this month, or is it going to go in a different direction? How about that?
It'll go in a different direction, and just be on the lookout for a dark horse.
Snob said you lied in his video. He said it was going live Tuesday. It's going live for you on Tuesday. The rest of the world is going live on Monday, Snob. That's just the way he's blocked your IP, and for you, you're screwed. It is what it is. But no, thanks for coming on. Like I said, it was great seeing you, buddy, and thanks for coming over to the house. Hope you had fun, and it was just great hanging out with you again. I had
Always
fun hanging out with you as well. So, yeah.
Always a good time.
Chase. Hey, absolutely. Chase, besides having what I think might be the handgun of the show and all that, I know there are other things that are coming down the line and going to be released, and not released, but necessarily maybe shipping soon or whatever. What else going on at EAA that you've got that you might be able to talk about?
Well, I mean, obviously the 14T was the hit, and those will be shipping here very soon. You'll be able to start seeing those pop up probably around Mother's Day. You'll start seeing some pop up, and then they're going to start ramping up really quick after that.
So for people out there that are maybe interested in the 14T, and they want to get one through the local gun shop, who do they need to who does their gun shop probably need to contact to get some of those?
Basically in their local gun shops can talk to any of the major distributors and get on the allocation list to grab one. What I can do is, when we're done with this, I have a QR code that we had at the show I can send you, and you can hang it wherever you want, and they can literally, I can send you just the link itself, and you can actually just link it, and they can fill out their info real fast. And what that does is we get that info and we send it to, their dealer can contact. Their dealer can contact them distributors, say, hey, I've got a customer who wants one of these. You just got some. Here they are. So you've got ready-made customers built in already.
Awesome.
The double stacks are about to start shipping early summer.
The Witness.
Pretty well ready to go. So the Witness 2311s are about to come, and they're going to start coming hot and heavy when they do. So that's really going to upset that market a little bit.
Which is kind of the point, isn't it?
Whole point. The PI, so the P35 PI optic ready.
For those of you out there, the P35 is the high power that people have seen all over the place, but the PI is the little smaller version.
Yeah, so this is basically the carry model, high power, that's all tricked out like the ops, but it's optics ready. It'll actually start shipping into this week.
Oh wow! Okay.
So they're ready to go too. So we got a lot of cool stuff happening.
Absolutely.
Check
Looking forward
out the website, eacorp.com. There's a ton of new stuff up on there now. We've got a bunch of distributor exclusives now. Yes, there's things that, like all these special makeups we've done, one-offs, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of options there right now.
Right. Yeah. Quick shout out to Anderson and EA. Thank you for all that you've done for us and all of that. You guys have been awesome and having us, welcoming us in your booth and doing and taking care of us in a lot of different ways. So it's great. Ginger, Chris, Clover, anything? I'm not going to ask Chase. Anyone else have any great parting wisdoms that we want to get out here?
I was going to say something nice.
I bet you were. I'll let you have a few seconds, but I have them finger on the mute button.
I was just going to say, I actually, appreciate everybody coming by the booth, all the content they did, spend the time. Y'all really don't know how much, as much as he, ran about it, how much that helped Paul's feelings. Everybody screwing with him. He needed that. It was
Paul made me cry this weekend. He did something for me that meant a great deal to me personally. And that doesn't happen very often, but no, it was wonderful to see Paul. He got pissed off at me for a few seconds when I made him sit down. He did not want to sit down and take a load off for a few minutes, but kind of forced him to and all that. But no, it was great to see Paul. You could tell that he was worn out.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that he kept showing up and just being Paul,
Yeah. Well, his walker the booth's on its way back. I got that notification today. So his walker will be prominently displayed in the Red Room of Pain. So I will definitely send pictures when it gets back. Don't worry. It's totally
Toy Master Toy Man says he's got a daughter named Sky. That's freaking awesome. Now Gort out there, he says the 14 looks like it could be popular if it works. It works. I got a question before we go because I had a question on my video. But Gort earlier said that Newark, Ohio is pronounced Nurk. Is that true?
That is
Nurk,
true.
Ohio?
Nurk, Ohio.
Nurk, Ohio.
It's Nurk, Ohio. It's kind of a mix of West Virginia and Pennsylvania accents when you say
that just shows you what kind of weird state that really is.
It's basically a state. It's basically a city in Ohio. If you live in Ohio, they all tell you to stay away from that city.
Yeah, there's a couple weird cities. There's Bellefontaine and.
But do you have a Bald Knob? We have a Bald Knob, Arkansas. Do you have a Bald Knob, Ohio?
No, but the coolest place I've ever been to is in Kyle's neck of the wood because the water tower says Florence, y'all, and as you drive right by it.
Yeah, I've worked in Florence.
Real quick, Chase, I want to mention this to you because I thought it was hilarious. On the video yesterday, I had a comment. I'm assuming, I don't know, it might have been serious, might have been joking. I don't know. They said because it's a tip up barrel, it's like, will the casing, is it going to be ejected towards my face? And I was like,
we've had several of those comments.
Seriously, bro? I think he might be joking, but if he wasn't, greatest comment ever. Just saying.
Oh, for sure. That's gonna, we had several people go how's it work? I'm like, well, it's like any other Sibiato, the slide cycles, and it's a direct blowback. It does come out and to the right. I mean, you watch the videos of us shooting it, and it goes just in that direction.
Come right back in my face. I can just see someone having to dodge as they shoot. Bob and weave.
That'd be the funniest thing ever.
That would be the greatest video ever. Is bobbing and weaving. That'd be fantastic.
Just hold it sideways. It's all good.
Gort said the AA baseball team is called the Y'alls. That's wonderful.
Go look it up. They have Y'alls.
The Nurk Y'alls or the Florence Y'alls?
It's the Florence Y'alls baseball team. Okay. And they have hats that say Y'alls on it.
Yeah. Fantastic. The Y'alls. Not quite as good as the Bananas, but I'll take the Y'alls.
Savannah Bananas are the best team ever.
Here's the thing about the Y'alls. They changed their name from the Florence Freedom, which pissed me off. I like the Freedom, man. That was my shit.
I do too, but okay. So if it was like a AAA or a major league team, Freedom's a cool name. AA baseball is where like the fun shit happens. So
But
you've got to have a
true.
fun name.
They're not even AA though. They're like independent.
Even better.
Yeah.
Like even better. Like the Swamp Gnats. That's a legit team name. Like who the hell names your team the Swamp Gnats? There's a team over in Virginia that does, or something. It's like it's awesome.
It's
If you ever want to have fun in your life, whether you're a baseball, I'm a huge baseball guy. But if you're not even a baseball person and you want to have fun, go to a single A or a double A baseball park sometime because they have the craziest cool stuff in between innings. It's awesome. Awesome. The Lansing Lugnuts, exactly. That's a double A baseball team. Absolutely.
I've got one better for you. The Akron Rubber Ducks.
The Rubber Ducks. I'm not familiar with the Rubber Ducks.
They changed their name from the Akron Arrows to the Akron Rubber Ducks, and their logo is a rubber ducky.
So
I bet they sell a ton of merch.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm big into minor league ball, so there's so many weird names out there. It is hilarious. Like the Trash Panda. My most
favorite hat, and I need to get another one because my favorite hat that I've ever owned in my life was back in high school. I had me a Durham Bulls hat, obviously for obvious reasons, but I need to get me another Durham Bulls hat. But so there is.
You could do the Villeneuve veal cutlets, and you could have the Bat Boy chasing like a calf around.
What exactly are veal cutlets?
That would be the greatest thing ever. It's baby cow steaks after they've been aborted on the 4th trimester.
You guys, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Hey, we had a couple there to dinner the other night. They were fantastic.
I knew that was where that was going.
I knew where it was going. I just couldn't hit the mute button quick enough. I'm a little disappointed in myself.
You're not disappointed. You enjoy it. I mean, could you imagine that? Like, as a Bat Boy running around just swatting at a dude in a cow costume. That'd be great.
Jesus Christ. Thank you guys for watching. You are not getting your money back, and there are going to be some of you that are not going to sleep well tonight. I apologize for that. We will see you next week. Semper Fi.